Hey Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I am in a different spot of the library from where I normally am. I have my little library card right here. I was hoping you'd be able to see it, but no. Anyway, this is one of my nonfiction bookcases, and there's, as you can imagine, a lot of stories about people. Come on, people. You know where I'm going with this. So today I'm just going to wrap up my reading for the month of March and share with you my plans, my high aspirations for April. A couple of housekeeping things. Thank you all for your kind thoughts for Jason, who has pneumonia. Unfortunately, this week he pulled or strained or did something to one of the muscles in his back because he was coughing so hard. And so now anytime he coughs, there's a lot of, not just the pain of coughing, but like pain in his back. So got him hooked up with the heating pad. My arthritis gel for my knees came in handy, and yeah, so I definitely think he feels better, but when he coughs, it's difficult. So but anyway, thank you all so much for your kind thoughts and prayers for him. I really do appreciate it. The other thing is I am curious about your thoughts on book buying bans. So if you haven't voted already, I have a poll up on my community tab, which you can access through your phone or your computer. Fortunately, not your tablet. But if you just go to my main page and go to community, you can access the poll there. I would love to, it's kind of all over the place right now. So there's not like a clear idea. But anyway, so I'm thinking that is maybe a future video that I might make. And because it is the last Friday of the month, I would like to say hello to my new subscribers who list their subscribers publicly on their channel. That's the only way I can see it on my end. So if you are a new subscriber, I'm so glad you're here, and I just may not know that you're here. So I've got France Bluebird Photography, Cody Ray, Intakab, Juan Manuel, William, Rafaela, Mary's Colorful Journey, Oscar, Viva Story, Alma, Chino, PJ Reads. PJ Reads, I think that sounds like a great name for a booktube channel. Are you thinking of starting a booktube channel? The Vertically Challenged Book Lover. That would be another fantastic booktube channel name. So again, I'm curious if you're thinking of starting a channel. But anyway, welcome to all of you who don't have channels. Please say hello in the comment section. You can even just leave an emoji or give this video a thumbs up. I also want to say a big hello and welcome to Aoife from Words of Clover. She is one of the hosts of the Irish Readathon. I'm a big fan of her, so thank you so much, Aoife. I will link to Aoife's channel down below. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do. And again, I would love to hear from all of these fantastic people. So thank you guys so much for subscribing. So I think I did pretty well in March, okay? I mean, there were some overlapping things. I read some spooky stories by an Irish author for the Irish Readathon, Joseph Sheridan LeFanu. I'm going to keep reading these throughout the year. I hope by October to finish this. So I really enjoyed those. I have one that I'm still reading, so I'll probably finish that tonight. I read Murder in the Murray for March Mystery Madness. I read True and Nile, which was a middle grade book, but also a mystery. Daddy Longlegs' Dear Enemy, which were more middle grade kind of books. I read a book for work. We won't talk about that one. And you guys, I this week finished reading Mara, Daughter of the Nile by Eloise, Jarvis, McCraw. Okay. So I was really thinking I could read this book one more time and let it go. I haven't been to the post office yet either. So if you're expecting a package from me, my goal for the weekend is to get everything packaged up and ready to be mailed out. So I do apologize if you're waiting on a book or bookmarks. But I really thought that I was gonna come to you today and be like, hey, if somebody wants this, let me know. It was so good. It's such a good book. So I read it in the 7th grade, and I remember not being able to put it down. I was like putting it on top of my textbooks in school and reading the book. This book was first published in 1953. This is a reprint edition from, I believe, like 1980. My copy says 1981, but I also saw online a 1985 with the same cover. And do you know what, like, is it middle grade? Is it YA? Is it just, I think it's just a fantastic novel. If you're looking for something, that doesn't have some of the tropes, especially like YA tropes, right? There's no love triangle in this book. It's about a 17-year-old slave girl in ancient Egypt. I think the fact that it was set in ancient Egypt probably has helped its longevity, because nobody's on cell phones or anything like that, and but yeah, it's just really like just transporting to this other world. Mara is an incredibly smart, witty character, just really captivating, and it just felt, even though it was written in 1953 or first published in 1953, like it still felt great. So I don't know if I'm gonna read this again or not, but I can't let it go. So that was a great end to March and all of the many events. Middle grade March, Irish Readathon, March Mystery Madness. Thank you to all the people who hosted those events. They were excellent. So, all right. So now we get to April. And I know you guys know where I'm going, but I have picked 4 books. They are all from my high priority TBR. And if you want to know about my high priority TBR, if you look down below, you can find the link to my Goodreads page, and ask me to be a friend. I will friend you, and you can see I have a shelf called 23 for 2023, and all of these books are on that list. So the first one is probably the one I'm most afraid of, but I'm going to read Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Look how beautiful this cover is. Oh my gosh. This is the annotated edition, and I have had some people tell me to not read the annotated edition first, but I do have another copy, so if it really becomes a problem to read the story and the annotations, I will consider that, although I honestly don't know how I will find where I'm at in this book in another edition, which we do own. But the annotated editions, I just absolutely love. There's just these illustrations and pictures, but you can also see how small the annotations are in those outer columns. So, and there's a lot of them. There's our author. So anyway, yes, it is time to read some Virginia Woolf. All I have read is A Room of One's Own, which is just a short little nonfiction book. I want to read Mrs. Dalloway. Oh, and I'm doing this as a buddy read with Joe Smith and Kelly Hunsaker, who is, in my opinion, a star of Bookstagram. So if you're not following Kelly on Bookstagram, you should definitely check out her Instagram page. I also have an Instagram account, which you can see down below, but I just have not posted any pictures for a while. So I've got to get back in the habit of that. But anyway, so I'm super excited to read this with both of them. The next one is a reread. This was actually on my high priority list for last year. I did not get to it. And this is The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. And I just, you know, it's hanging over me a little bit like, oh, like you were gonna read this last year, you didn't. Just read it, Kelly. Just be done with it. So, if nothing else, I feel like this will read maybe a little bit faster because it's a reread. I do remember, you know, I feel like I have a fairly good memory of the plot itself. I'm more concerned about how the writing has stood up over time. I made my husband read this, and he read some passages out loud to me. It was kind of cringeworthy. So I want to see if this is a book that I still want to hold on to. And that's why it is on the high priority. Now, the other two books are part of a new event, a new monthly read-along on Booktube, hosted by Elisabeth from Booktubers and Roz at Scally Dandelion About the Books. And that is April People. That's what I'm calling it. No, I will link to the official name and their announcement videos down below. But basically the gist is to read memoirs, to read biographies, I suppose you could read historical fiction about a real person. But anyway, I think it's a great idea. I once had a book club called Reading Between the Lives that was all biography and memoirs. I really enjoyed it, but no one ever came to the book club. So I gave it up. That was back when I was working for Barnes & Noble many, many years ago. But anyway, so I'm calling it Come On People April. That's my name for this. Otherwise, if you get a Voxer message from me and I'm talking about it, I'll probably call it April People. But anyway, so again, I have two books for this event, both high priority TBR. The first one is Soul of the Age, a biography of the mind of William Shakespeare by Jonathan Bate. And I am really excited about reading this. I'm a little nervous about trying to read some of these books alongside Mrs. Dalloway, but I think I could read, like, maybe try to get through, you know, there's 7 ages, right, which is from that famous passage of Shakespeare's from As You Like It. And then finally, the last book that I want to read this month for April people, for Come On People, April, is The Oregon Trail by Rinker. Now, this isn't about one person. This is about a lot of people who traveled on the Oregon Trail seeking, I don't know, a better life in the West. And it runs right through the state of Wyoming. So I grew up going to places that are going to be referenced in this book, which I'm really excited about. And I am planning a book review, and I'm going to take you with me to some of those places in that book review. So I'm very excited about it, but if I'm going to plan out filming some of these places, then I need to read the book. I need to get on that soon. So if I can, I'm going to try to sneak in maybe Measure for Measure, a Shakespeare play I thought wildly that I somehow might manage to squeeze in March, but yeah, so we'll see if I can pull that off as well. I did want to share with you one thing that was on my dresser when I got home from work. It's Marcel the Shell with 2 shoes on, and it says, "Guess why I smile a lot? Because it's worth it." I love this. This was the first movie I saw in the theater post-COVID, so just within the last year. And I also got a book that I've shown on here before, and again, this might be a great one to try to sneak in this month, which is Little Weirds by Jenny Slate, and she's the voice of Marcel. So, and I so wish I could do that voice. Wouldn't that be great? I would love that. Anyway, I would love to hear how your March went. Did you meet your reading goals? Did you participate in the events you wanted to? How did it go? What are you planning to read for April? Let me know. Booktube, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others. It's so hard to do, I know, but we just have to try. So thanks so much for watching, and I will be back soon with my 500th video on Booktube. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I do promise that in the future, Jason is going to be in a video, but he needs to be a little bit better. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.